So yesterday, for Anime IRL, our other channel, Nick, Stephen He, Chris Barnett, and I were at the don't interrupt me.
Oh, because you
made
never
me say American.
You never throw in quips and qualms and bits in my talking sprees.
Never.
We
were all at the. What did you say?
Bookla bookla. HOOT. There it is. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. So yesterday we were at the American Ninja Warrior Adventure Park in Santa Ana, and we were filming a video.
Oh, my turn?
Yeah.
Thanks, Ken.
That's what I'm here
for. And...
What? Who would be Ken?
In Barbie?
In our relationship.
I meant like a newscaster.
Oh.
Like, thanks, Bill. Back to me.
No, but like...
Who'd be Ken?
Who'd
you.
Be Ken? Me?
Yeah.
You're Barbie?
I guess by default, but you are Ken.
That's fair. I can't argue with that. You're right. I am Ken.
Yeah. Look at you. Just look at you.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
I'll be Barbie.
You don't have Barbie energy. You don't take care of yourself. You have weird Barbie energy. That's what you have. You're the one like the shaved head and like the shirt I ripped off because I wanted to see if the Barbie had nipples.
I take great care of myself. I take like 8 vitamins that equal 1 vegetable every day.
yeah, because you refuse to eat vegetables. Yeah. We went to a sushi restaurant last night, and I was like, "Do you eat sushi?" And you were like, "Nope, but I'll find something."
Oh, my favorite vegetable, raw fish.
Well, I'm just saying, you just don't. You have the pedigree, the food pedigree of an 8-year-old.
Yeah, that's true. But I take enough dietary supplements to revive a horse.
Is that what it is? You're just taking horse pills, just like guzzling down 8 NyQuil-sized pills.
Every morning I wake up and I defibrillate myself.
Yeah. Like Sarah like waves a celery stick in front of your face. How did that happen? How did you end up with a vegan who and then you're just like chicken tendies boy? She hasn't been like, hey, have you heard of seitan and tofu? And
that's what happens when you date girls for their looks.
Yeah,
you know?
These fucking broads.
These broads.
You figure out, 6 months, the tits has a mouth. You know?
That's what happens when you see a girl and you're like, that's the most beautiful girl I've ever seen. And then you wear her down and you finally get a date and then you're like, God damn it, she's got a personality.
Yeah, like, I don't know if I like this, but the honkers on this woman, the biggie babongas.
Yeah.
I can cancel out the yippity yappins, but the boobies, they're always there.
Yeah, keep going on about this bit about my girlfriend's boobs. Just keep running it.
Everyone knows you're a tits man, Danny.
Oh, yeah.
You're a big tits man.
Oh, yeah,
Danny's never looked at an ass a day in his life.
Never. I don't even know what it looks like.
Yep.
Like it's like a
heart.
It's like an ear of corn. I hear.
There's a bag of sand. I think it's a bag of sand. So, anyways, me and Danny were at a sushi restaurant, and I was like, "You'll find something." I want to tell the story. We'll get to the. We filmed video and made content about anime. Fuck you. Who gives a shit? We were at a sushi restaurant after because we were talking about future videos for Anime IRL. We're doing a little tip-tap session, doing a little brainstorming. Danny was like, I have this idea. We do a recipe and then we switch, and everyone was like, boo.
You're gonna be mean to me again?
Yeah.
Again?
Everyone's like, boo.
I was so mad about how mean to me you were last night, and now you're gonna do it again.
I wasn't mean to you. I was just like, I don't love the idea.
We were having this writer sesh, and then everyone dogpiled on me while I was trying to give an example, and then I stopped talking for 30 minutes, and Nick thinks it's a good idea to bring it up again.
Everyone went, boo. But anyways, Danny orders rice and bulgogi, and I see him. Danny's not great with chopsticks, to say the least. Danny holds chopsticks like he has a talon hand. Like you know the guy who's got the little hand from the scary movies? If you gave him chopsticks, that's how Danny holds chopsticks. Just one hand, grip around both of them, and just kind of like spoons things into his mouth. And I look over and I just see Danny picking up 3 grains of white rice at a time, and I'm like, I need to help this man. Fortunately, I see there's spoons on the table as well. I'm like, Danny, my love, spoons. And he just goes, let's go! It was like he unlocked food.
It was a huge development.
Dude, he was like, oh my God, I'm gonna finish dinner now.
Yeah. Well, and to the eagle-eyed listener, if you listen real quietly, you'll hear with every like chopstick full I take, I go,
Just sweating, just sweating. Not to mention we were all soaking wet from sweat because we've been running around the American Ninja Warrior course, and we're at like an omakase, like a really nice sushi restaurant, just shooting the shit, ordering 18 Diet Cokes, just loading the table up with DCs.
What I was gonna say is we were at the course, and one of the employees came up to us, and she was very sweet. She was very adorable. She came up to Steven, and she was like, I think I know you. And she was like,
You're talking about
the little girl.
Yeah.
You know, the one female employee.
Gotcha.
But she was like, are you Steven He? And he was like, yeah, but you know, don't say my name because I don't want people to like get all in a tizzy. And I was like, what a fucking douche to be like, don't say my name out loud.
Did you
and
see what
there's
happened?
more to the story,
okay,
Nick.
I was gonna say.
I was like, what a fucking douche to be like, oh, don't say my name out loud. I don't want everyone to recognize me. And the moment he said it, some like 8-year-old was like, is that Steven He?
Yeah.
And like 3 kids ambushed him.
Yeah.
And I was like, I guess this is the place to get recognized.
And then he proceeded, the child proceeded to run around the course for the rest of the day and go, Steven He, that's Steven He. And their parents were just like, just encouraging it. They were like, go get him, everyone. Interrupt him while he's filming. Absolutely. Parents are like, just like kicking our doors down, being like, photos. Kids are just running up to him. The same kid who's screaming about Steven being there the entire time is like, can I be in the vlog? And I just looked at him and I was like, no. I was like, fucking who? And then like, fortunately, like the employees like just moved these kids away. I was like, fucking parents, can we step up here?
I know. I don't blame the kids because like
they're children.
Yeah, because they are just kids.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, at a point I was like, hey, your kid's running up to adults an awful lot.
Yeah.
Like,
like what are we doing
strangers
here?
very frequently.
Yeah, we're like, oh yeah, you're in the vlog now. Congratulations. Here's your face to millions of people. Hope you're cool with these like circumstances.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Children are goblins.
I never want kids.
Kids are. I oscillate so hard because like I met my nieces a couple days ago, and they were the sweetest girls I've ever met in my entire life. And then what?
Until
I had a nightmare about not being able to return them to their actual father. But then I like meet other children, and I'm like, oh, I want to strangle you.
I thought you were gonna talk about the time where you met your nieces like the other day. And you were like, God, they're so precious. They're so sweet.
They are.
And then one of them started just eating sand by the fistful.
Oh, that was Dorothy was more upset about that than I was. Dorothy was way more upset. I thought it was cute.
Kids can't be eating sand, Nick.
They can absolutely be eating sand. They can eat a little bit of sand.
Not by the fistful. Dorothy's like, yeah, she was fisting sand into her mouth.
She was being she was hyperbolizing.
Hyperbolic.
There we go. Isla, the youngest of my 2 nieces, kept dropping chips in the sand accidentally because baby hands, and then she would pick the chips up and eat them out of the sand.
And she just scoop it.
Yeah, and she would just like cut up a couple of lines of sand and just rail sand, dude. She was Charlie XCXing it. It was crazy. Charlie XCI. I don't know.
I think it's XCX.
I think it's XCI.
I don't care for her music. I'll say it.
I don't like pop.
I don't like Brat Girl Summer.
Brat Girl Summer's iconic. How dare you?
That's her.
I don't give a shit. Brat Girl Summer's fucking iconic. I don't like, listen, it's like a whole summer dedicated to girls doing coke and drinking. Fuck yeah, dude, get after it.
Listen, I've listened to her music.
Yep.
It's some of the worst music I've ever heard. I like
all pop is bad.
I like Chappell Roan. I like Sabrina Carpenter. I like Olivia Rodrigo.
All pop is bad.
I like oh my god. Oh my god, why am I forgetting All American Bitch right now?
Is it who is it a woman?
It's Olivia Rodrigo. Her song All American Bitch, and I love it.
Okay.
Oh,
you're trying to sing it. You're trying to sing the song.
Yeah. Give me some lines. Someone give me a line.
Olivia Rodrigo, I find the most palatable out of all of them because she's just poppy or Paramore. She's
Paramore.
But I find her the most palatable out of all of them. I don't know.
Forgive and I forget. I know my age and I act like it. You can't resist. I'm a perfect all-American bitch.
There we go.
Perfect all-American lips.
I like Chaperone because I can go H-O-O-T or H-O-T-D-O-G-S. Hot dogs are the fucking best. That's it. That's what I do.
That's what I expect out of a guy wearing a beer barbecue shirt.
I love this shirt. Listen, when you got 2 really good sleeves, you got to show off the sleeves. It completes the look.
It does.
Completes the look. One day I saw a dude in the grocery store the other day.
Yeah.
Old dude, probably like 50, No, probably like 65, 70. Full color sleeves. And I was like, that's going to be me. You look sick. And I gave him a compliment. Whole face lit up. I was like, I love your sleeves. And he was like, thank you. And I was like, well, you should kiss.
He was like, can you tell that to my wife, please?
Yeah, he was like, oh, getting my wife hates them.
Yeah.
But they looked very new. And they looked like he maintained them really well.
They were like, yeah, dude, like 50, 65, 70. I saw a corpse the other day.
I saw a corpse with tattoos. Dude, have you ever seen the Skin Museum? Oh, well, I swear we'll get to anime soon. There was a skin museum in the 30s and 40s in Japan. And this,
I've heard of this,
It was a guy, it was a doctor in Japan who would take the corpses of Yakuza members, not unconsensually. Like, he would ask them if he could, like, preserve their work. And he would skin these Yakuza members after they died. And he would display their tattoos in a skin museum. And I thought that was so cool, but it burnt down in the 40s because we firebombed Tokyo. What do you mean?
The Skin Museum, the Skinatorium.
I would go in a heartbeat. I would love a skin museum.
Sounds horrifying.
Of course, that's half the point.
Yeah, I guess I get why the Yakuza would be into it. Like, if you're doing a literal full body tattoo piece, I want that preserved.
I would donate my skin.
Yeah.
I donate my skin so hard. I would love it if people could touch my skin.
I love that the Yakuza, like, the main aspect of the Yakuza, other than the crime, is getting a full back piece.
Oh, it's full 3/4 arm length, 3/4 leg.
Do you have to upgrade to it?
What do you mean?
Like, or once you're inducted.
Like, the more time you spend in the Yakuza, the more tattoos you're going to get, inherently.
Well, inherently.
Yeah.
But is that, like, if you're a Yakuza, like, grunt, you'd get the back piece, and then you're a Yakuza general and you get the arms? Or
no, the back piece is the last piece. So, like, the back piece goes down to the butt and lower thighs. And that's like a huge, testament. Usually you start with your arms. So you do a 3/4, they do like a 3/4, like, I forget what they call it style, but it stops right here and it goes up to your shoulders. And then like, it like goes around your shoulder blades like this. Yeah. And they don't usually do chest pieces. So it's like a pec and then like back piece.
I wonder who they get to do that. Like, who's the Yakuza tattoo guy?
There's absolutely straight up Yakuza tattoo guys.
I know. I just wonder, like, how you get into that, you know?
They do the traditional style.
Oh, it's like stick and poke?
It's kind of stick and poke, yeah.
Horrible.
Oh, it heals way better. It just takes way longer.
Yeah.
It heals way longer, and then the color sticks way better because you're not tearing up the skin as much, but it takes way longer.
Yeah, I bet. You're just using a single
needle. It
needle.
also hurts like a bitch.
I bet.
Yeah, but they do crime, so they have to be big tough guys.
Yeah, they do crime.
They do crime.
I like if you're exiled from the Yakuza, you have to cut off your own pinky. Fun.
It's
fun.
I could do it.
It seems tough.
I can do it.
It's definitely a generous finger to be like,
I'll get rid of it.
It's definitely not that bad of, like...
Not that bad of a crime. No. Being exiled from the Yakuza, all you have to do is lose your least important finger. Cool, I can do that.
In the Sons of Anarchy, you have to either have your back piece cut off or burned off.
Yep. Which I don't even know how you do. That's so much.
I don't know how you survive it.
Yeah, really, you just don't.
Yeah.
Were you upsetty pie about us talking over you?
Yes, of course.
You want to unpack that?
No.
You want to unpack that for me?
No.
I didn't even realize you were upset.
It's okay.
Wait, what happened?
That's okay. I was just trying to finish a point, and everyone was interrupting me and saying my idea was bad.
But unpack it for me.
No.
Live therapy.
I don't want to.
This is live recorded therapy.
No, I just want to be bitter about
this
it.
Is what people. This is the difference between us as men. I'm gonna talk it outer. You just want to be upsketty.
What doesn't kill you.
Yep.
Makes you funnier.
Is that what it is?
The more upset I'll be, the better I will perform at my job.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
So should I like dig in the knife in the wound here a little bit?
Sure.
Okay. We're doing a Gunpla building video next week when you're not here.
That's for the best. I think that Chris will get bored in a minute.
Oh, no, come on. You have to be in that one.
Yeah.
You're the only person who likes Gundams out of all of us.
I think that falls in the category of Chris is like, I don't want to read for 6 hours.
Yes.
Where it's like, I think everyone but me is underestimating the fact that it takes actually 8 hours to build one Gunpla.
Oh, no.
Like, one basic Gunpla takes you, like, 4 hours. It takes a long time.
Like, even the easiest one?
Yeah, well, like, the easiest one would be, like, a statue equivalent where you're just, like, clicking in the arm and stuff.
Okay.
The one where you have, like, the sheets that you have to cut out the little things, that takes, like, several days.
Holy shit.
And your back is fucked by the end
Who
of it.
does that for fun?
Yeah, it's not.
Why would you electively do that? Okay, but here's my thing.
It's like adult Lego.
Yeah, but okay, that's why I have multiple unfinished Lego sets because god damn it, could I not be bothered to do it? My thing here, I feel like what does really well on YouTube nowadays is just like challenge content. Like you're like, oh, we stay in a room for 24 hours. And nobody wants to do the hard shit.
I agree.
Yeah.
No one, yeah. Steven the other day, and in Steven's defense, there are two sides to this.
Yeah.
But we were like trying to think of like food challenges. And Steven was like, I don't want to throw up. And we're like,
don't eat till you throw up. Stop. I do it every day.
It's like you're a grown man.
Yeah, don't eat till you throw up.
I just like the idea that like Nick and I are like, yeah, we should do a thing where we like eat 40 bowls of ramen and then Chuck Liddell punches us in the stomach.
Yeah.
Steven's like, I don't want to get upset.
Yeah, it's like, come on, man, this is what people want to see. They want to see us suffer.
I love that. Then don't eat until you throw up.
It's like, stop.
Like, just stop.
Stop.
Just don't do it.
Oh, goodness gracious.
That was funny.
So we want to talk about anime? We got a whole lot to talk about. And by a whole lot, I mean...
Nothing.
Not a whole lot to talk about.
Did you watch Mononoke?
Yes.
Wow.
Did you not?
No, there's no time.
What do you mean?
Yesterday was a full day.
So?
And then we recorded Thursday.
I watched it on Sunday. I watched it on Saturday.
Wow. Yeah. Well, I've seen it like 11 times. I can talk about it.
Oh, yeah? You can talk about it? Like it's off the top of your head?
I've literally seen it, actually, if I'm being accurate, like 6 times in the last 3 years.
Can we not talk about that first? I want to talk about Rick and Morty first.
I was going to say.
Yep.
That is the anime I'm most excited for every week now. It's so fascinatingly bad.
Oh, okay. Wow. You had me on the edge of my seat there for a second. It's awful.
Yeah, this was way worse than the first episode.
I watched it in Japanese to feel better about it, and I did feel better about it because the Japanese the sub is better than the dub, but hardly. Like,
I watched it in English.
How'd you feel about it?
Real weird. Summer's good.
Summer's bad. Summer's the best out of all of them, but she's not good.
She sounds like Summer.
Yes.
The president's in it just clearly is not Keith David.
Yeah.
Rick is like, they're all clearly
Speaking
not
of Keith
anybody.
David, surprise appearance from Keith David in Mononoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like the monkeys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, this was awful.
It's bad. It's getting worse.
Yeah.
Because you were like, oh, there's so much intrigue going on and all this. And like, this episode was nonsense. What is he? Why is he with the younger Rick? What is the younger Rick make the thing, the vial he's holding? And then he's like, I took your place. What the fuck are they talking about?
I know. It was so nothing, like so little happened, but they're just doing recycled, right? It's weird because they're doing recycled plot beats from the original show, while at the same time making this show absolutely impenetrable to anyone who hasn't seen Rick and Morty.
Because it's all built off existing lore.
Yeah.
And it's like very, like Rick is, I think he's talking to like when Rick and Morty died and they replaced another Rick and Morty or some shit.
I think.
You know when they blow themselves up and like Morty has his like trauma over having to bury his own Morty.
Yeah.
Like he replaces a Morty, but then he's like talking about like how you let Beth get away or some shit. I don't know what the fuck they're talking. I haven't watched the last season or 2 seasons of Rick and Morty. I don't know if that's why I don't understand what the fuck's going on, but why would you build a new IP that requires 6 or 7 seasons of knowledge?
It's so weird because it's not even like, I get being like, oh, we don't want to like just reset Rick and Morty. Like,
Don't have to.
You don't have to.
Don't have to at all.
So
the entire idea of Rick and Morty is that there's infinite of them. Tell an animated story about like Rick and Morty in like traditional Edo period Japan or some shit.
I was thinking that. Like, they are so hardcore alienating people who don't know what Rick and Morty is.
Yeah.
To the point where they're even alienating people who know what Rick and Morty is.
Yep.
Because it's so much Rick and Morty lore. Like, it feels like we're on episode 11.
Yeah.
You know? Like, Space Beth is in it.
Yeah, Space Beth is in it, and like Summer's tracking his location across like quantum tunneling, and he's splitting into a million fucking Ricks or some shit.
Yeah, I hate that Summer. The whole first 2 episodes is this like guy in the chair, like, you know, like, oh, like new enemy in Quadrant 11.
And then there's another Summer who's like not working with him, and it's, oh god, it's so bad.
Yeah.
It has a 2-minute, it was a 17-minute episode, 2-minute long intro.
Yeah.
How are you gonna put a 2-minute long intro in a fucking, now a 15-minute show?
Did you watch the intro, the opening? You would have seen that girl.
I saw the girl. She's in the very beginning of it, and I was like, cool, point proven.
She's in the whole intro. Also, what's the show called again?
Rick and Morty the anime, I think.
Rick and who?
Not doing it.
This isn't the trap you think it is.
Not doing it.
It's what do you think I'm gonna say? Rick and Mortying these balls up my ass?
More of D's nuts?
I should've.
Yeah, I'm not.
My point was he's not in it.
Oh, Morty's not in it?
Morty's not in this episode.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, he isn't.
He's not in it
well,
at all.
no, you see him like, he's like, oh, that was my last love, because he's talking to the Summer who's in like a bedroom or something, and they're just redoing the fucking arcade episode again, and then Rick's fighting a Rick we've never seen before over a plot line we don't understand.
Yeah. This one also had a lot more jokes that were awful.
Yep.
There was like a bit where they're fighting, so Rick is fighting himself.
Yep.
And I guess doesn't really make sense. Because when a Rick
touches another Rick, it makes an infinite portal of energy.
Yeah.
There's an entire council of Ricks that happens all the fucking time.
Yeah. What are they doing?
What are they doing?
What are they talking about?
They're so dedicated to Rick and Morty lore that and they're just not following it at the same time.
Unless it's did he time travel?
Because it's a younger Rick?
Yeah. I think
they've time traveled before though.
Yeah.
Like multiple times. There's an entire time travel patrol. That's Keegan-Michael Key.
Yeah, Keegan-Michael Key. That's right. That's a good episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, when a Rick touches another Rick, it creates like an energy feedback loop and sends them through a bunch of different dimensions. And there's a line where he's like, where younger Rick is like, so what, I gotta hug you to get back to my home? And then older Rick's like, or we could just punch each other. And then they punch.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is like what my dad thinks anime is.
Yeah.
Like it's like Speed Racer writing.
It's horrendous. Like like look, when I say like, oh, it's AI generated, like I genuinely mean it might be AI generated. Like it's so bad. It's also filled with like Summers. Who was fighting against the Falcon girl? Was it Space Beth?
Space Beth.
Filled with like horrendous looking but technically impressive CGI. Like it was like the flow and scale of the CGI was impressive, but it looked bad because it was CGI of terrible artwork. Yeah. Like the 2D looks so bad that when you put it in 3D, it looks terrible. But the execution of the CGI was actually impressive.
Yeah. Just awful.
It's the worst thing I've ever watched.
Who is this for? Why watch it?
I'm genuine. I'm so fucking for real. If anybody is watching the Rick and Morty anime and enjoying it, please tell us in the comments and why.
Let me look up. I'll look it up on IMDb and find a good review.
Okay.
Let me see.
What was that? 2.9?
2.9 before.
Yeah, last time we checked. Now that the second episode's out, I feel like it's gotta be lower.
What do you think it is?
Now?
Yeah.
2.5.
2.7.
Okay.
Still lower.
Still lower. What
do you think it is on Rotten Tomatoes?
They're fucking like a 60. They're always off the mark.
60.
That's so dumb. That's like first off, what film critic is watching Rick and Morty the anime? It's only like Rotten scores are only film critics, right? Like movie and TV critics. Which one of them is sitting down for Rick and Morty the anime and being like, "Oh, what a delightful, enlightening experience."
Okay, let me see. IMDb is such a whack website.
Oh, it's terrible UI.
I hate this.
I had IMDb Pro for a little bit because I was trying to reach out to the management team of the One Piece live action group because I was like going through a mania bit like 2 years ago where I was like, oh, I need to be an actor. And then I met a lot of actors who have way bigger platforms than me. And I was like, oh, I don't need to be an actor.
Okay, wait, are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
There are 8 user reviews for the first episode of Rick and Morty.
Nice.
I'm going to read the titles of all of them.
Okay.
The last one I'll read is the only 10 out of 10. Every other one is like a 2 out of 10.
Gotcha.
What are they doing? This was either a cynical meta joke I'm not cool enough to get, or it was just bad. Absolutely awful. Not even worth a star. I don't understand the point. Absolute rubbish. This is not Rick. I miss Rick. And the 10 out of 10 one is titled, Fellas, it's called Rick and Morty, the anime. Here's the review. Like Dog, of course the characters are going to be different and have different voices. It's not the OG. They're very clearly going to have an actual story, so probably won't be fun and easy to watch, in quotes.
Love that. Love a Rick and Morty, the anime fan being like, oh, this isn't for the weak of heart.
But just off the first episode alone, I couldn't wait to watch the next one. There's a lot of potential from Rick and Morty, starting plot being expanded. but going in expecting the same exact thing from the OG show doesn't do this justice. The time VR thing Morty goes through is a very interesting plot, while they build Rick and Summer up, and it almost seems as though Summer is going to be Rick's main sidekick. I think if you want to see characters grow and break away from the same weekly plot, this is going to be for you. 1 out of 5 people found this helpful.
Nice, good. Yeah, Rick. Yeah, Summer becomes the main character here in the Rick and Morty anime.
Yeah, what a weird fucking thing this is.
It's just crazy. And I think, honestly, this summer has kind of opened my eyes to the idea that, like, traditional media is dying. like traditional media, like, all right, so, like, obviously, like, Concord came out, right? So, like, we're doing Video Game Corner right now. So Concord, there's been a lot of games that came out recently, and it was, like, Black Myth Wukong. Everyone's like, oh, that's the game of the year. Everyone's really excited about Warhammer 40K Space Marines 2.
Yeah, baby. I'm so hyped. Go on.
It looks a lot. Look, I'm downloading Black Myth Wukong later today.
Oh, nice.
I'm very fucking excited. And then like a couple of other games came out where it was like Concord came out, and then what was the other one? The one where your words were your power. I don't know if you saw this.
I forget what that's called, but there's like, the power system is getting triggered.
The power system is getting triggered, and the Polish government put money into it.
It's like Dust Bringers or something.
Something
like,
fucking ridiculous. And like, so like 2 separate games, and Concord and whatever the fuck that game is came out with like $100 million budgets, and Concord had never broke 1,000 concurrent players.
Yeah.
Like the service will be shut down in 3 to 4 months.
Yeah.
And like it will never recoup the cost because it's a 5-person shooter that's like obviously gonna have microtransactions, but it's a $40 price tag, like straight out the gate. Yeah. And like even if it was free, a lot of people wouldn't play it. And I'm like, traditional media is like, we haven't had a big movie like Wolverine, Deadpool. That's like the first, like, but like, we used to like
Dune 2,
which was a year ago. Like
this year.
When was it? Like
March.
Okay. 6 months ago. Yeah. But like, I feel like the frequency at which we're getting like these huge, big block, like mega movies that everybody is like, is a must see, is like dying out slowly but surely. And I genuinely believe that content is going to skew and towards free until all of the money that those making the content and those like those making the content make is like strictly off the back of advertisers, like all that kind of thing. Like that's why I'm like, oh, YouTube is the meta because it's free content. Advertisers pay, they pay us to do it. That's why we make it. We don't have to charge our fans because we can make content for free and advertisers will pay for it. Google will pay for it. I think that is the metric because there's so much free content out there right now that it's like very hard to convince anybody that you should pay for anything.
That's fair. I agree with 80% of that.
Except for the highest masterclass of like, oh, technically they put a lot of work into this. Elden Ring, like, I think video games, honestly, we've had a great slew of video games, but only from the studios that didn't rush anything, didn't let corporate greed get in their way, didn't like, oh, we're going to build this off the back of microtransactions. Like Elden Ring, Black Myth Wukong, hopefully Space, like Warhammer. Space Marines 2. Like we've had like Baldur's Gate, like the back of a lot of incredible video games recently. But that's only from studios that are actually genuinely putting the work in. Yeah.
No, I mean, that's fair. The idea that media is going to shift to either free with ads or pseudo-free with subscriptions, like even on Xbox, Game Pass is like
$50. Yeah.
It's huge. Well, it's like, it's not like 50, it's like 15 a month.
Oh, is that what it is? Gotcha.
Yeah, it's like 15 a month.
I'm thinking gold. I'm thinking Xbox Gold. Is that the
Xbox Live? Yo, I don't know. I forgot about Xbox Gold.
Right?
Yeah.
It was like there was a time when you had to pay to play on the internet, which was objectively silly.
It's a very silly. Remember minutes on a cell phone?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like shit like that. But like, here's our fucking grandpa corner.
I remember when I had to get a gift card from GameStop for 6 months of Xbox Gold.
I remember the Verizon juke.
I remember when you hit up on the D-pad of your flip phone, you had to hit exit as fast as you could because if you even opened the internet for 1 minute, your mom would die.
They'd kill her. They'd just kill her.
They just put her down like a horse in the street, dude. Like a horse with a broken leg. You just hear a gunshot a couple miles away. Like, there goes mom. And then, like, I guess I can step on all the fucking cracks I want now.
Why are you taking your metaphors from, like, Dubai?
I don't fucking know.
Like a horse in the
Because I'm trying to get 29 other people to move, Danny.
No, I remember I used to have to line it up with Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
So I'd be like, guys, whatever you get me on this fucking list, make sure a year of Xbox Live is one of them.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about anything else if I don't have
nothing
Live.
worse than like sitting down to your Xbox to play for the day and you're like, fuck, I'm out of internet. Like,
Yeah.
I'm out of oh no, my pour kicked in.
I remember one time my dad or mom was like, because I was like, please, I need $60 a year for this. And he was like, why don't you just call your friends? We have unlimited calling.
Yeah.
And I remember just saying some like 12-year-old equivalent of like, are we a joke to you? Is this family a joke?
I once hit my mom with the "Are we poor?" to get like I was like, she was like, "No," and I was like, "Mom, are we poor?" And she was like, "What? No." And I was like, "Well, then why can't we get it?"
I can't believe you hit your mom with "Are we poor?" I hit my mom with "Mom, we're poor."
Reality check. Listen, I was just like, been a gaslighter since day one. All right,
Yeah.
I knew I was like, if I was like, hey, if mom thinks that I think we're poor, she'll buy it.
Yeah. My mom used to get so upset because she'd be like, why are you always going to your friend's house? Why don't you come over here? And I would always be like, their house is better.
Yeah.
They have 3 of our condo.
They have a finished basement, Mom. It's cold down there.
Yeah. But why were we talking? Oh, no, there's definitely, so yeah, Xbox Game Pass is like, what?
What's going on over there?
What?
What are you looking? Is that a YouTube video?
I have Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, gotcha.
I was going to look up more Rick and Morty reviews. It has a 16 user rating.
Nice. Let's go.
But it's because fucking 5 critics have reviewed it.
Gotcha.
And so it's 3 positive and 2 negative. But anyway,
That's still atrocious.
but also a 6 out of 10 on Rotten Tomatoes is technically fresh.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's weird. But anyway. Oh, but Xbox Live has this thing called Game Pass, which is literally like Netflix for video games for 15 or 20 bucks a month.
Which is why they're trying to gobble up all like studios right now so they can put them on Game Pass.
Yeah. So for like 15 or 20 bucks a month, you have access to like 1,000 or so different games, maybe more. And like, that's genius. Like, I'm an adult now, so I just buy whatever game I
don't
fucking
play
want.
enough video games to like necessitate having 1,000.
Yeah, half of me is like, I don't have the time. The other half is like, you know, if Wukong comes out, I'll buy Wukong. I'm not gonna like peruse the thousands of like 8 out of 10 indie games out there. But if you're like a high schooler, that's fucking awesome. Like, what a deal. What a deal for the parents. $15 a month rather than like $60 every 2 months.
Yeah.
What a deal for the kid. You have endless games that you and your friends can play on. I really think media is going to move towards like everything's a subscription or free with ads. Because fighting games are a lot like that now, where like if a new fighting game, we've gone dark. But like if a new fighting game comes out, that's not like a Mortal Kombat, a Street Fighter, like an established IP. Everyone is like, this can't be $60. Like no one's buying new fighting games for $60. It needs to come out free with like 2 to 5 free characters, and the rest you either grind or pay for.
Exactly.
Like that's the fighting.
And then if I
game
find a character I really like and I stick to, and that's my main, and that's like my one trick, I get a skin.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like,
Make purchases elective.
yeah, I agree with all that. I do think there are like more movie events than you think, and I think it's partly because we are an anime podcast. So like JJK feels like it came out 7 years ago.
It was
to me
years ago.
like so like season 2. I mean,
Did you? Oh no, we'll talk about this in a second. Yeah,
season 2 feels like it came out like 11 years ago to me, and it's because like
we've been limping through like 7 to 8 out of 10 anime since.
Yeah, whenever there's a new main event anime, it feels like My Hero feels like it's been going on for a year.
Yeah.
But I think you forget that like Barbenheimer was gigantic.
That was last summer,
year. Yeah, like so a year ago. And then before that, like Avatar 2 was the biggest thing ever. Like every year has like a gigantic event movie still.
I guess. I just don't give a shit.
Well, Avatar 2 is dumb.
Avatar, it's just a screensaver. It's an 8K screensaver.
Yeah. And so Barbenheimer,
There's 30 minutes in the middle where they just fucking swim. They just swim.
it's just a documentary about whales that don't exist.
Steven Spielberg's an asshole.
James Cameron.
James Cameron's an asshole.
Steven Spielberg is an asshole though, because I saw Twisters 2 recently.
Yep.
Spoilers for Twisters 2.
You mean Twisters?
For Twisters, you're
Yes.
correct. Yes. Spoilers for Twisters.
Two twists, too furious.
Too twisted.
Too twisted.
Twisters to Twisted Tea.
Yeah, who twisted my tea?
Here's our segment, Twisted Tea, where I spill the tea on Twisters.
Nice.
Spoilers for Twisters 2.
We're not sponsored by Twisted Tea.
Two Twist, Two Turs?
Two Twist, Two Turs. Yeah.
Here's the tea.
Yeah.
It's Glenn Powell and a girl. I don't know the girl.
They love a Glenn Powell and a girl. That's like his last 3 movies have been Glenn Powell and a girl.
Dude, you'd love Twisters. I'd see it again.
Really?
We should see it in 4XD.
Okay.
It would be a nightmare.
Considering the fact the last movie we saw in 4XD was Fast and Furious 10, or X, as I should say.
Yeah. But we should see it. It's really, really fun because it's about like the girl. I don't know her name, but she's like a storm chaser and she's doing it like for the research to like help families, help lives.
Okay, so Twister.
So Twister.
Yep.
And then Glenn Powell is a fucking rootin', tootin', yeehaw the boy coming up. He's like a streamer. Don't even ask me how he's getting fucking service in the middle of a tornado.
Yeah. He's like Starlink, maybe.
Yeah, fast enough to live stream. But he comes up in his truck, like when they're chasing tornadoes. And you got fucking Brantley Gilbert like blaring as he's coming up these dunes and just tearing up Ohio or wherever they are. And then he goes inside of the tornadoes and he like
puts his spikes down.
Yeah, he puts spikes down and then he fires fireworks into the tornado. It turns into like a glowing fire tornado. It's awesome.
That sounds sick.
He's great. She hates him for no reason.
Yeah.
And then they fall in love. And then
do you like Glenn Powell?
His face is too small.
I feel like
he's got a little face.
You know, like stop trying to make fetch happen. I feel like America is trying to make Glenn Powell happen, and I don't know if I'm on board.
I've never agreed with the take more. He is Hollywood propaganda.
He's everywhere.
Yeah. You know what? I'll tell you what, though. I tell you what.
Yeah.
Does it for Sarah.
I could imagine, and that's it.
I literally,
that's why it's always Glenn Powell and a woman.
Yeah.
Fucking Hitman, Glenn Powell and a woman. Anyone but you, Glenn Powell and a woman.
Yo,
Glenn Powell and a woman.
I liked Hitman. Did you watch that?
I watched it 2 days ago. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah. But his face is too little.
It's not that I loved him.
Yeah.
It was a fun movie.
Got a tiny little face.
Oh.
But I am very good usually at like if I'm watching a comedy in theaters, I'll laugh.
Yeah.
Like that's what you want to do. I'm not like a cheerer. I'm not like I won't like make a lot of comments.
When people clap in movies,
awful.
I hate it.
Awful.
I don't. Does that make me a fucking Scrooge?
Dude,
when people clap when the plane lands, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck. Oh, he's doing his job.
Yeah, what'd you expect?
Yeah, fucking, oh no, we're not a fireball. Grow up.
I don't like that people clap on a plane because it implies they all thought we were going to die.
Right. Also, whenever you see, oh man, I have a lot of plane takes. I've been in a lot of planes recently.
Yeah.
I've been seeing like real hard turbulence videos recently where like people think the plane's gonna go down and everyone's screaming, shut up, die in silence. Die in silence, you fucking nerd. God damn it.
Die in silence, cheer in silence at the movies.
Yeah.
If something hype happens, give a little, let's go.
Let's go.
You know?
Yeah.
Do that. But I don't cheer at the movies. But Sarah at one point leaned over to me and Glenn Powell, like, you know, rubs the rim of his little cowboy hat.
She was like, I want to be that. She's like, I want to be that hat.
I want to be that hat's rim.
Yeah.
She leaned over and she's like, damn. And I, at full volume, went, what? I went, him?
You're walking home.
Yeah.
God, every day we just find out our girlfriend's type is further and further from who we are.
Did I tell you I was on a plane once? I forget where it was. We might have been on it together. It might have been come from Austin.
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't talk about this. Do you remember on that plane from Austin, the pilot? We had a pilot, and you know, it's a plane from Austin.
Yeah.
So it's like a Austin-ass pilot.
Yeah.
And he's like, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say this is my 15th year flying. I've been flying in the Air Force. 15 years ago, I flew on 2 tours. I've been flying ever since. People start like clapping. They're like, all right, like, yeah, like one of these claps. And he's like, I just want to say it's because of you guys I get to keep flying.
Dude was like running for governor. It was fucking ridiculous.
But he's like, He's like, I get to keep flying. I love flying. I'm going to keep doing it for you. And then there's like a loud applause. And he's like, oh, I love it. I love flying.
I fucked this plane. I fucked this plane right in its exhaust hole.
I was afraid he'd get me like, you know, I'm going in the air. We're staying. We're staying up in the air. Who's with me?
They're gonna have to shoot us down. They're gonna shoot us down.
Scared the hell out of me. I was like, do this when you land.
Yeah, fucking all right, flyboy. How about we get there? Chip chop.
Dude, the worst part about people clapping when it lands is I'm afraid that if I'm on a plane where they don't clap, the pilot's gonna be like, I'm crashing the next one. I'm fucking, or he's gonna be like, you know,
do this for nothing.
Either that or he's gonna be like, I'm running it back.
Yeah.
And then they start backing out of the cage.
Like, no, please, we're on the ground. Please.
Starts to like gets back in the air, does a loop, and he's like, you're clapping this time.
We're doing this tell you clap.
Anyway, it's been an hour. We've talked about one anime.
Listen, this is spoken from somebody who knows that if they ever, for some reason, am no longer a YouTuber, I'm gonna become a pilot. So I would love to be a pilot. I got a TikTok of this guy who's a pilot, and he's just like has like classic cars and like Rolexes, and he's
do
like,
they get paid well?
Oh, they get paid so well.
Really?
Starting budget for a pilot is probably like 120 grand.
For being a sky taxi?
Do you know how hard it is to be one?
I don't think it is.
Years of school. So many knobs and switches. Let's do it. Let's go. Listen, I want to learn to fly.
You go up, and then you go forward.
Do you want to learn how to fly
and
together?
then you go down.
If I could tell you right now, though, most of modern piloting is just in an iPad. You just like kind of like you plug in your router in an iPad and like the plane can take off and land by itself.
That's what I'm saying. I know everyone's gonna be like, oh, well, it crashed the submarine. How is it not an Xbox controller?
What do you mean? Come on. Come on. I do pilot sims can be an Xbox controller.
Yeah, right trigger to go forward, and then you pull up, and then it's that.
There's enough buttons.
Yeah.
There's enough buttons on an Xbox controller, fucking assholes. Can I talk about Wistoria real quick before we get into all the things that you also watched? It's better. You were right. It's better than Soul Leveling. It's bad. Like it's just good. It's just like Soul Leveling didn't fill me with the whimsy that this show fills me with.
I love the main character.
Will is just great. He's
a good
great.
He's like a Laios type.
He's like, hey, why does everyone hate me? Yeah. I'm just trying my best. But he's not like resentful, but like he's occasionally resentful. And he's just a good guy. And like, here's the thing. Like there's like episode 7 was like the hypest episode. Like he has like this, like basically like an arch nemesis who's like this super powerful student at the school. And they get their final battle kind of in like what is essentially the Goblet of Fire's like maze kind of thing. Like they have to like go through a bunch of different tests. And they have to get a crown in the middle of like all of these tests. And when they put the crown on, they win. So there's this huge final fight that's like built around like Will understanding the magic this kid's using, and it's like beautifully animated. The choreography is fantastic, and they do the thing it's my favorite anime thing. It's my favorite anime thing, Danny. You want to know what it is? Take a guess.
Oh, I don't know. Can I have a hint? Because I do want to guess.
It's got to do with like the ending of an episode. And like how they build hype around the ending of an episode.
Oh, man. It's not a transformation.
No.
I don't know.
It's hard. It's hyper specific. It is. I can't say the word specific quickly. It is when they play the opening at the end of the episode over like under like an incredibly hype scene. Yeah. So Will's just slicing through ice, like punching his sword into like Ice Clone's face. And it's just all to the background music of the opening. And I just chills. I felt like a 14-year-old watching anime again. Like, because it's like a classic story. It's such a classic zero to hero story. Doesn't have magic. But like those stories so often, like there's a reason there's a million of those stories. It's because like it works, right? Yeah. But the problem with those stories is they always in those stories make the main character some fucking edgelord bitch. Rising the Shield Hero. The irregular at magic school, the demon school one. Solo leveling. He's just always some moody bitch. And Will is just this fucking Laios Naruto baby who's like, honestly, that's who he reminds me of. It's Naruto, like down and out, but like doesn't resent anybody, just wants to like accomplish his goal. And like, isn't like, oh, I'll fucking prove you wrong. He's like literally just trying to get to Elfie, the girl who's like on top of like the Magius Vonder. It's so goddamn good, and it might be better than Solo Leveling's, at least first 7 episodes.
So would you say, is there an episode where it kicks into gear? Like, because you weren't into it at first.
Or
is that on you?
That was on me because I saw the format, and I was like, stupid. And then I watched episode 2 and I was like, you know what? The characters are really good. Like, if you are not as jaded about anime as I am, you'll watch the first episode and be like, oh, this is fun. And it's just the characters make it. Like, it's like classic arch enemy. Like there's a enemies to lovers, like not lovers, but enemies to friends plotline going out right now. There's a arch nemesis who's the most important and powerful mage in his class, and then like Will's the down and out hero, and then there's like the girl that he's trying to get to, but she's also super cute. And like usually when there's like an end girl kind of thing, like, oh, we're childhood friends, end girl, like, but they introduce a new girl, and that girl's like the one he actually falls in love with. They're giving a good amount of screen time to that girl as well to make sure that like she stays a legitimate like love interest, childhood friend type thing. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. It's probably the anime I'm looking forward to the most currently.
Wow. I got to catch up.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I'm excited.
I have no qualms with it.
Mononoke?
Yeah. It's so much better than everything else we've seen, and it's not even close.
It's incredible.
It's just a masterpiece.
Yeah.
It's
really good.
So long.
Yeah.
It's 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Do you feel it?
No. Yeah. Not really.
Yeah.
I would say that like the only moment where it really lags even a little bit is kind of like when they have to go to the like meet the tree spirit the first time, and they have to put somebody in the water. It's Sen bringing
Ashitaka?
It's Sen bringing Ashitaka to the water the first time. There's like 15 minutes in there that like are a bit slower than the rest of the story. Everything else so dope. The boar army like blowing up with grenades, like and then I love this story because there's no character that doesn't like there's no character that like pisses me off or like I'm like is not well written. With Castle in the Sky, you're like, oh, I wish the girl was cooler. And with like Kiki's Delivery Service, you're like, oh, Toma or Tomin. Toga, what's the guy's name?
Tombo.
Tombo is like great guy, and like Kiki's fine, like Gigi's annoying, like this everybody, Sen, Ashitaka, the wolves, the monkeys, the boars, even like the everybody in Irontown. Like I love I hardly even consider her an antagonist. Like and she doesn't end the story as an antagonist. No. I do not remember her name for the life of me.
I don't either.
But she's such an interesting character because she's kind of like, this is going to be a nuanced reference that you won't understand, but in Warrior, the TV show I'm watching with Dorothy right now, there's a woman who runs a brothel, and her whole thing is like she takes women out of other like more abusive situations in brothels, and it's like, I'm going to pay them well, feed them well, make sure that like men don't hit them. Her whole thing is like, I'm taking women out of brothel, like get women out of brothels in the big city, and I'm like, they're working hard days, but like they're not selling their bodies, right?
I'm turning them into a bunch of these.
Dude. Can we talk? All right. First off, I have so many things to say. I have so many goddamn things to say. But the first Rosie, the Riveter ass woman, I'd let her crush my balls.
Yeah, I mean, they're all sex workers. They're all hot.
But they're like all hot, and they're like they're wearing their like head wraps and like their kimonos are slipping. They're just pumping. They're just pumping big old wind on the fires.
Thirsting after Ashitaka because he's doing the work of 6 brothel workers.
Can we talk about how many bitches Ashitaka gets? All right. My immediate
in his fucking reverse vest.
You know, so okay, that's the I also was gonna bring that up. Okay, he looks like the bass player from the rival band in School of Rock.
Okay.
The one the teacher falls in love with, the one with the long hair.
Dude, I have no idea.
What do you mean? Oh,
remember?
There's gonna be a couple of people. Oh, man, guitar player sleeves. Is it called School of Rock? School of Rock.
Yeah.
He looks exactly like so hard that I genuinely think he might have inspired the outfit.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
The one that the teacher falls in love with. Like, she's like, oh, look, I absolutely.
Yeah, just sleeves.
Just sleeves, dude. And that's what Ashitaka brings to the table. But Ashitaka has like no less than like 17 women fall in love with him over the course of this. And like some are supposed to be trying to kill him.
Yeah.
Right? Ashitaka, when he's leaving the village, like he's like the last prince of like this dying clan that rides red elks, which by the way, out of all the companion animals thus far, and probably for the entirety of Miyazakiism, that's the best. what's his name?
Yeah, the deer thing.
The red elk. The
you
red
like
elk
this thing?
Yakul. Yakul is the best companion animal. Barn. Dude, Yakul takes an arrow to the leg. Fine, a day later.
Yeah.
Yakul like meets the spirit, like the spirit guardian, who's also like a deer, and he's like, what's good? Knows not to go on the spirit guardian's island. He's just like floating in the water. He's a down ass bitch.
Yeah, he's also the only animal companion who is just an animal.
Yeah. Oh,
like doesn't talk, not a silly, goofy thing, like just a red deer.
I'd make an argument though. Even without talking, bigger impact in the story than every other animal.
Just a good guy.
Just a great guy.
Yeah.
Just the best guy.
Yeah.
He's just ripping around as Ashitaka's cutting arms off, sniping samurai heads off with his bow.
Dude, that opening action scene, every action scene with Ashitaka is out of nowhere crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he rips the dude's arms off with the bow.
Cuts both of them off. Cuts 2 arms off with an arrow.
But even the samurai like looks at him and he's like, how'd that happen?
Dude, and this is a note I have. Miyazaki's gore is so interesting because he kind of makes it look yummy.
It's really clean, yeah.
Like he kind of makes like arms get cut off, and I'm like, Asobusco.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh.
Well, it's just like, it's just like a red circle with like a little bone in the center. Like it looks like something Goku would like eat in one bite.
But also at the same time, like when Ashitaka gets shot, he's the most shot a human being's ever been shot.
Oh yeah.
Like it's like it's like a fucking
like a cannon.
like a squib. Like a squib blows up and it's just like wet blood everywhere.
Yeah. Can we so there's 2 bits that are like my favorite. I love that opening when he rips the guy's arms off. I love Ashitaka pulls the bow back. And then his arm's like, nah, bitch, we can do better than that.
Yeah.
And then it like wiggles and then he rips it back harder.
Yeah.
And then I also love when he gets shot. It's like one of my favorite scenes in any movie.
It's great. Like he's walking out with Sen over his shoulders.
Yeah.
And just stutter, keeps walking, and then he opens the gate that like needs 10 men. And he's like bleeding out of the hole while he's doing it.
It goes so hard because Ashitaka's whole character in this whole story is him essentially just going, fine. Like
he is just like he's being pulled in 4 directions at all times. And I find that interesting because ironically, Sen is probably the person who should be in that scenario over Ashitaka. Like he is the real gateway between humanity and the gods.
Yeah.
And Sen is like an actual human who lives with the gods, but never really interfaces with the humans. Like is more godlike or like animal-like, but they're all kind of gods. Than Ashitaka, who's like a bridge. And that's why I find this movie so compelling and so interesting because the ending isn't necessarily a resolution. Like it's like the forest spirit dies, kind of, right? It's like kind of left in the air. Like they give it its head back, but like the forest spirit disappears.
Yeah, it's like magic is kind of lost from the world, maybe.
Yeah, and then like all of the gods die. Like the
boar.
Yeah, Otaku or
probably not Otaku.
No, it's like Otoko. Otoko dies. The wolf mother dies. And then like the monkeys are still alive, but that's because they weren't involved in any of the fighting.
And they're mean.
But like I growing up thought the monkeys were mean, but they're also kind of right. Like we're like, oh, the monkeys are mean, but like the monkeys are like trying to like replant trees and they're just getting fired on by the Iron Town. And they're like, you know what? We're just gonna eat humans. And there's this persistent trope, and I don't know how it started in like media where people are like, oh, if a monkey eats a thing, it gets that power. Because they also do it in the I'm the monkey bum bum. With
Jungle Book.
Men's Red Fire. Yeah. Because the monkeys want to eat the kid in that to get like its power.
Yeah. Weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess it's just like
also, the monkeys are Keith David.
They are Keith David.
That was crazy.
They're also not finished being animated.
No, they're just like kind of like cross-hatched.
They're weird. They're weird looking.
Yeah.
But no, I love this scene where Ashitaka is shot because what makes him such an interesting character is he's like a pacifist with an arm that makes him stronger and more lethal than anybody else. And I love that the whole movie he's like, all right, hatred is what caused this whole mess. It's like the gods got corrupted by the iron being shot into them, and it essentially like gave them a disease. Like it's foreign material lodged inside of them. Yeah. And he's like, all right, war isn't going to solve this. War is what started it. So we have to do this peacefully. busts into Irontown. Like, San's trying to kill everybody. San gets shot in the face,
Yep.
which is crazy.
And then just like lands on the ground, and
Yeah.
they're like, oh, well, you know, even if she's on like a decapitated wolf can still bite you.
Yeah, which was also crazy to be proven true later. I thought that was just a metaphor.
The wolf head wiggling through the spirit forest and just nabbing that lady's arm.
Yeah. But fucking so he gets in there and he like stops them from fighting. He like knocks both of the women out.
Yeah.
And then he grabs San and he's like, I'm just gonna walk out of here.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna leave. No one fuck with me. And then he starts walking, his back is turned. They shoot him.
Yeah.
They shoot him right in the chest while his back is turned. And he just has to like grit his teeth and be like, I'm just walking out.
I'm leaving now.
It's just so fascinating watching, because it's not like every now and then like a show will do a thing where it's like a character will be like a bitch and be like, I'm a pacifist, like I'm not gonna kill the final boss, and you're like, just kill the final boss, dummy.
I was thinking about this yesterday.
Yeah. And like this is so much better because it's like he's a pacifist, like he'll kill
Yeah.
if that's the only resort, but he's like, if I walk out of here, if I take that bullet and I walk out of here with her, I can send a message and show them, like, we need peace.
Yeah.
And he's just such a good character.
But the ending of the movie, that's why I find it so compelling, is like a lot of Miyazaki films don't necessarily like resolve themselves by the end. And this one's kind of the same way, where like Irontown's destroyed, but not even by the forest spirits. Irontown is destroyed by the samurai who are like taking it over because the men of Irontown have been sent out to battle against the forest gods, the boars.
Yeah.
And Jiraiya Sensei is out there throwing grenades. The legendary hunter who's walking around on huge clip-clop clogs.
Yeah.
And
Billy Bob Thornton.
yeah. Is that really Bill? Oh my God, it is Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah.
And even realize
Yeah.
who actually gives an okay performance.
Yeah.
Like an unheard of, apparently, Porco Russo. And so it's so interesting because like that, like Irontown's destroyed, and then but everybody in Irontown is still alive, and so they're like, we're gonna rebuild Irontown, and then they're like, but we're gonna make it better.
Yeah.
And like as like by better, I'm assuming they mean like less impactful for like the environment, but like nothing.
Who knows?
Essentially, nothing's been solved.
Yeah.
Like Irontown's been destroyed. It needs to be rebuilt. The forest spirit's gone. All of the gods are dead, and like Ashitaka's like, San, you wanna get those smooches? And she's like, nope. And he's like, cool.
Yeah, nothing's really solved.
Nothing's solved.
Well, it's also like, it's a very Miyazaki thing to have a movie end, even if there's villains, no matter what the villains are. A lot of his movies end with everyone being like, well, all right, that happened.
Yeah.
Whoa, like Spirited Away happens like that. Like she bests the witch and she's like, oh, well, you know, and this ends like that where
Howl's Moving Castle ends like that.
the woman with the, you know, woman with Irontown is like, well, guess we build it better. And it's like, so many people died.
So many people died. There was a man who blew your men up with mines and then dropped grenades on them.
Yeah, so many people die so frequently. Nausicaa ends like that kind of, where they like fire the laser and she's like, well, it didn't work.
Yeah.
And it's like, guys,
Please. Nothing is being fixed.
arrest somebody.
Yeah. Somebody's gotta pay. That's all that matters. But yeah, no. So Ashitaka gets bitches. What I wanted to say earlier was Ashitaka, when he's leaving his village, a girl runs up to him and gives him that necklace and is like, don't forget about me. And then he just immediately forgets about her.
And then he just does.
Yeah. And then he's like, I'm just going to go woo every woman in a 40 square mile radius.
Yeah. It's just hot.
He's just got that shit on. But yeah, no. That's basically everything. I said, is Otoko the bartender? He's not the monkeys. He's the boar. He's the boar god.
The bartender?
Yeah.
From what?
Hell of a boss.
Keith David?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes, is Otaku.
Yeah.
Otaku.
Are you sure? Oh, Ron Perlman, maybe the monkeys.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, he is, so he's the giant boar.
Yeah.
And my God, the scene where he thinks that his soldiers are coming back to him, but it's warriors squiggling up in boar suits, is so dope. I just love watching like the boar in the beginning and then Otaku at the end, like so goopy.
Yeah.
So goopy. Miyazaki loves goop. Like the giant warrior in the beginning that just melts after shooting the laser. He loves goop.
Yeah. The main like demon thing in the very beginning of this movie is just a goop monster.
It's a boar.
I love when Ashitaka like changes his bowstring. That's just like a nice little break of ASMR.
Yeah.
Where he just realistically like fixes his bow.
Yeah.
Yeah, when that boar is like oozing out of its face.
Yeah.
Real scary.
Yeah, it's
real hard to watch.
Horrifying.
Yeah.
The entire movie is kind of horrifying.
This is like such a rated R movie. I don't know who let it be PG-13.
There's a lot of decapitations for a PG-13 movie.
Yeah, shooting people's heads off.
I guess because there's not like a bunch of like blood spurting everywhere. Maybe that's why he's like cutting tenderloins.
The boar.
That's like black worms. It's like it's like
thanks Captain Hook.
That's me. I'm
black worm.
It's the black worms.
I love when Ashitaka, there's two riders coming after him, and he shoots one of their heads off, and the other one just loops.
Just like, goes under the hill. He's like, I'm out. Yep.
Just goes home.
What a accurate and proportional response. Yeah. That'd be a fun anime IRL video. Can we decapitate somebody with an arrow?
Yeah, I guess.
We need a big fuck off arrow.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how the arrow would like tug enough. It'd have to be like a coarse ass arrow.
It would have to be a big fuck off arrow is what it'd have to be. We'd have to get like a full blade on like one of those like Dark Souls giant bows.
That's made out of like shark skin.
Dude, what if we built a ballista? We'll build a ballista.
Canniballista. That's the video.
Canniballista. Yeah. Oh, dude,
Canniballista.
Do you know how much tomfoolery I would get into with a ballista? Dude, I'd be in prison in under a week.
I love how it's just like, can you siege a castle? And Richard's just like, yeah, they did it.
Yeah,
like they did. Ballistas were real.
It's been done.
Yeah,
we're doing that. I'm writing that one down right now.
God, I love Princess Mononoke. It's just great. It's so epic. Yeah. It's just an epic film. That's why like the length doesn't bother me.
Yeah. It's anything they're getting into is just inherently well written.
This is sorry, go on.
It's so far beyond all of his other movies, and I'm like, how did you write Kiki's Delivery Service and this?
Yeah.
How'd you write Porco Rosso in this?
How'd you write Porco Rosso right before this?
Oh man, we had one of my favorite comment interactions of all time under our last video, where somebody was like, "Well, Porco Rosso is actually an analogy for like, oh, it's like his guilt and like he feels bad about it," and then somebody under it just responded, "Pig gotta fly," and I was like, "Fuck yeah!" Honestly, that made me like the movie. Like that interaction made me like the movie a little bit because the "Sorry, babe, pig's gotta fly" line is fucking awesome. Objectively,
it's great. That's such a good shutdown.
Yeah,
like that should become a meme where it's just like when someone's mansplaining or whatever at you, and you're just like, "Sorry, babe, pig's gotta fly,"
and just walk away.
Yeah. But no, this like every Hayao Miyazaki movie. If someone comes up to me and they're like medium level into movies.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, what do you recommend a movie? Like it's Friday night. I want to watch a good movie. What do you recommend?" This is the only Hayao Miyazaki movie I would recommend without any like asterisk.
Gotcha.
Like every other one.
Not House?
No.
Oh.
House is like a mess, kind of.
What do you mean?
Not like technically the story narratively and whatever. It like after a while of House, I'm like, it feels like things are just happening. Like it feels like House is a very like and then movie.
There is a lot of like Sophie's in the Flower World thing. Like Howell made me a whole Flower World thing, but also World War II's happening and I have to go.
Yeah, it's very like, oh, Sophie's like first Sophie's turned into an old woman, and then she is trying to work for Howl to figure out how to get it reversed, and then she's like talking to the Capitol, like the woman running the Capitol, and then lizards are at war with Howl specifically.
Oh my god, I forgot about the lizards.
Yeah, I know. It's like, it's so...
Well, those are all the other wizards. They turned into lizards.
I know.
It's the wizard pipeline.
I know, it's the lizard gang.
Yeah.
But like, it's so much, and it's because Howl is based on a book series.
Oh.
So like he didn't write it. It's like adapted from a book series.
Oh, crazy.
And so there's all this lore. And that's like Howl's, like Kiki's, always hits like a bit where I hit a wall and I'm like, this movie's still happening, isn't it?
You're crazy. You're insane for that.
It's good. I like it. But
so this is going to be your #1 movie for the entirety of this
I think forever. Unless Ponyo fucking...
Ponyo's going to blow your goddamn socks off. Willem Dafoe is perfect in it.
But it's just like, this is the only movie where I'd be like, Prince of Mononoke, watch that. No notes. Every
Yeah.
other one is like, oh, like Spirited Away, but it's kind of like meandering and like, you know, a slice of life sort of.
Yeah.
Nausicaa, but it kind of just stops at the end and it's old as hell.
Yeah.
Mononoke is the only one where I'm like, yeah, if you want, watch fucking Oppenheimer or Mononoke, you know, like.
Still haven't seen Oppenheimer.
It's good.
It is so hard for me to be like 3-hour movie, lock in. I need to be on a plane. I'm gonna watch it on a plane.
That's fair.
I'm gonna ruin my movie watching experience because I'm sure it's fucking gorgeous on a 9-inch TV. It's gonna be wonderful.
That's so fair. But this is the only one where I'm like, I'd rattle off 5 actual live action movies and put Mononoke in it.
Yeah.
Where does this rank? 1?
Oh, easily.
Yeah.
It's just,
as of now.
As of now. Until we hit Howls, and then that'll be 1.
You think Howl will beat it?
Oh, for sure.
Wow.
It's a better movie.
Wow.
Objectively. Wow. You want to talk about racism?
Oh, you want to talk about maybe the best episode of My Hero Academia this season?
Wow. Okay.
I loved it.
Go off, Queen.
I loved it.
Okay.
It was so dark. It was real hardcore with the
Yeah.
race riots bit.
Yeah.
Especially at the end.
What, when he's like screaming about how like he got beat and everybody, and they're
No,
like, oh,
when the cop fires into the crowd of protesters.
Yeah.
Not that they're peaceful, like it is a riot.
At a certain point, the shield's no longer an option. Like
mean,
me playing Siege.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely like beating people to death.
Oh yeah. There's only 200 of them.
But it's just like that imagery is always going to be like shocking. Like just seeing a cop pull out the gun against what are essentially like protesters. But again, I'm aware it's a riot and very violent.
And they're also trying to get Korogiri, who's going to help destroy the world.
Yeah, it's like less of a riot, more like a terrorist-run act of terror.
It's a battlefront. Yeah.
But like just it ending with him pulling the gun and they're like in a shopping mall and then you hear the shots.
Yeah.
I was like, this is crazy. This is wild. This is not a week ago. I told my niece she could watch this show.
They kind of this is a thing. This is a big talking point when this part of the manga came out. They kind of speed run racism.
Yeah.
Because like I think the anime touches on it more because like this is one of the complaints. So you know the tall, definitely kind of a fox, but not really a fox lady who Deku saves, I think.
Definitely a fox.
Yeah. Oh,
definitely.
I'd split her down the middle. I'm not saying I wouldn't.
The hottest gal.
They made her double thick for no goddamn reason.
She's my waifu.
Yeah.
If anyone asks, it's Shark Fox Lady from
whatever animal
like
heteromorph she is.
She's just plump.
Yeah.
She's just plumping up
and
the
like
jam.
7'5", like just dream woman material. They like talk about how like she's not allowed in a shelter because she's a heteromorph, that kind of thing. So like I think they touch on it a bit more, but like the whole heteromorph racism thing doesn't like really exist that prominently in the manga. And then it's like, oh, it's bad. And you're like, motherfucker, what?
Yeah, that's the only problem. If they just planted those seeds leading up, like had Octocole be discriminated against, or the
Tentacle, but
Tentacle, or probably not him because he wears the mask, although he is #gross.
Oh yeah,
Toko Yami.
Wait until you see. I can't really
see what he gets grosser.
No, he. If I tell you the thing I want to tell you, it kind of spoils the end of MHA.
Okay,
maybe. Wait, can I whisper to you?
No.
Okay. All right.
But the bird head.
It rhymes with. No, fuck it. I won't do it. I won't do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm fighting demons.
You're like it rhymes with girder. Yaku.
I feel like Kanye West in that one interview where he was like, my bipolarism got worse under the supervision of a doctor. I'm not gonna say what kind of doctor. It was a Jewish doctor. Just crack under no pressure whatsoever.
So that's like anytime I do a phone number bit and I accidentally give my real number or address.
You're like trying to stop yourself. You're like, don't say three, fuck.
There have been so many instances where I'm like, I need to use a fake name. And they're like, hi, I'm Mitch. And I'm like, hi, I'm Daniel Hugo Motta.
They're like, listen, that's not my middle name.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they just need to plant the seeds. Is the issue? Yeah, have a bird boy.
Have somebody spit on Mineta.
Yeah.
I could live with that.
Have Bird Boy get like, racism against leading up. Yeah, it does.
Tokoyami is his name.
It does. I've been asking if that's his name.
Oh, really?
I'm like, Tokoyami,
Yeah,
right?
Tokoyami.
And then you're like, what's your phone number?
Yeah. Dude, I have it memorized. I'll say it.
But
Can you turn off Do Not Disturb?
I don't believe you.
I'm going to choke you to death.
No, Anime IRL is guaranteed. I will not turn off Do Not Disturb. There's too many
I call you once a goddamn day, and it means I have to call you twice a goddamn day to get you.
Too many stupid fucking texts. Half of them are Chris being like, whoa, when are we shooting again? What are we shooting? I just don't care.
Yeah, fine.
But
Turn it on work mode.
what is that?
You can pick who can disturb you. Allow me to disturb you.
Fine.
Cool.
Does that count for group chats though?
No.
All right. It'll be you and that's
Sarah.
it.
It's just me and Sarah.
It'll be you and that's it, I said.
Okay, I'll take it.
But
Fucking deflating like a
use Patreon after this too.
Well, go get a Treatums.
No, because then I'll hit traffic. Oh, if we do Patreon here, I'm guaranteed to hit traffic.
We'll get a Treatums after Patreon. We'll go get dinner.
We'll see. But I love the episode. It was really compelling.
Yeah.
Because it was just this like pocket of drama. Yeah. Like Spinner gets his crazy form. Yeah. That's another thing that comes out of nowhere is Spinner as a character.
Yes. Oh, yeah, that. Yeah, I was going to say that they kind of like intro the fact that he's going to get more quirks from All for One. But no, he is like just immediately relevant for some goddamn reason. Yeah.
But like I found Tentacle like pretty compelling, pretty interesting. He was like, you were like, oh, he's gross before. I thought it was because...
What did I say? He was gross.
No, I said he's gross. Okay. And you're like, oh.
Well, because he's like kind of like MHA Martin Luther King.
Well, because it was funny because he took off his mask.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's revolting. Put that back on.
That's not even that bad. That's not... Oh, listen, never watched Katakuri's whole arc. He's got 6 webbed arms and the long mouth was what got you.
I already thought it was gross that he had the arms. Yeah. This is worse. This is just adding to it, but I was like,
you're the problem.
I'd spray him with insecticide instantly. When he said that, I was like, that's hardcore. Who the fuck did that to you, you poor man?
Away, bug!
That's the craziest line to just drop.
I bet you insecticide would work on some of the heteromorphs though, low key. Like,
yeah, some of them do be bugs.
Some of them like are actual bugs.
Yeah. But he took off the mask and was like, you're revolting. Put that back on, you absolute disgusting freak. And then he was like, people beat me for being different. And I was like, I would. You freak. You disgusting freak.
You're a goddamn monster.
Change for me and my comfortability.
Oh, you can only change your arms? Move your fucking chin in.
He's so gross. When he grabbed that girl, I was like, I'm waiting for that girl to drown herself.
You're
because
insane.
What a fate worse than death.
Because there's just so many worse heteromorphs. Like, he's literally not even close. I would say Annie voice, objectively worse. He looks like a rock.
He does look very weird.
And then they're like, oh, you'll get your horns? Doesn't get horns. Gets like craggly, more rock face.
What a fate worse than death to be grabbed by Tentacle.
You're a fucking monster.
There's
literally a Windex, man. Tentacle is not that bad. He has a mouth.
The only fate worse than Tentacle is getting grabbed by the tail guy.
He's a human, just with a tail.
His tail has a gross little Dr. Seuss
It does. It's got like a little tuft of hair at the end, which is very unnecessary.
It's just a big throbbing muscle.
If there was no hair, it would look weird. Imagine just a flesh-colored, no hair ass tail.
Put a hat on it or something.
I think that's why they put like a little flame at the end of Charmander's tail, because wow, would it just look like meat. It would just look like meat.
Just a lizard. Just look like a regular lizard.
Bipedal lizard.
I guess.
That's weird. That's way too girthy. Lizard. You ever seen a lizard's tail? It's thin.
Yeah.
They got girth.
I just don't like his tail. It's just gross. It's just gross. Yeah, like it'd work well in bed, I'm sure, but it's gross.
What do you mean? By the way, I looked up the scene from Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down.
Oh, yeah?
It doesn't go in. It just swims around.
It gets in there. It's not like up in her and then she throws it up.
I was expecting like just legs kicking out. Like I was expecting like full body in there.
Yeah.
Like how I would be with like a giant anime woman.
Yeah.
Like just
in there kicking your legs.
Oh, just kick my goddamn legs, dude. Absolutely. Yeah. Diane from Seven Deadly Sins. Get me up there.
Yeah, Diane. Everyone's favorite anime character, Blanche. That was Diane.
Oh, you're about to be fucking
7 deadly sins.
You're about to be woke, my brother.
Wooga.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you don't mind me saying.
Yeah.
Hoot hoot.
Yeah, you've rescinded your point.
Well.
Yeah. She's like 80 feet tall.
Everyone's 7 deadly sins has the stupidest face. I hate what they look like. I hate this art style.
To counter that point, I do agree. I don't disagree. I don't like that point. I love this fucking art style.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Say it for the audio.
We're talking about
listeners.
Gachiahkuta. And I'm 69 pages into volume 2.
Nice.
And they introduced a bunch of new characters. They just showed an entire room filled with all the cleaners, and the designs were so sick.
Yeah. Did you get to the scissor girl?
No, I have not gotten to the scissor. Well, I don't know. Is that Ryu Reaper? This one, who I had to Google the age of? Boy, oh boy, did I got an answer that changed how I talked about her. I was like, oh, wow. And then I was like, oh,
she looks
16.
like she's 20.
So, she's 16. So I had to immediately change that. So I've now pivoted my talking point of hot women in this manga to the glasses lady.
The receptionist?
Yes, the glasses lady. Yeah. That's the
this,
one for me.
Bayonetta ass, like.
Dude, fucking. I feel like we haven't got like a punk ass design in a long time in this, it doesn't look like Soul Eater at all, because Soul Eater has very almost like Danny Phantom-esque body, right? Because everyone's so skinny and like thin.
Yeah.
But this is just like a punk ass design, and it's just the greatest thing. I'm so stoked on it.
I told you, this has like the character design potential to be the next like gigantic anime. Mm-hmm. When he walks into the room and he sees all the like potential new characters, I'm like, this dude's cooking. Yeah. This artist is fucking cooking.
It reminds me of when Ichigo goes to his bedroom, like in the Iranka arc, and all of the captains of the Gotei 13 are in there. And I was like, oh, this is sick as fuck. I'm so excited. I love it so goddamn much.
Volume 3's got a really cool like villain. Like Volume 3's just a fight. It's like the first big like humanoid on humanoid fight. Oh. And it's a cool ass design.
That's pretty sick. Yeah. I love the main character as well.
He's awesome. Rudy or whatever?
Rudy. Something like that.
Yeah. He's awesome. He's just a good little, he's like Naruto who's a little angrier, but wants to. What helps him is that a lot of edgy characters are edgy, but they don't want to not be edgy. Yeah. And he's good because
he's like trying to smile and shit. He's trying to like the guy who's going to be his trainer. He's like, I need to like solve the situation peacefully, and then he's like swinging a fucking, they call it like a poop pumper or something. Yeah. Like I don't even know.
They have a poop fight.
Yeah, the plunger. Yeah, they have a poop fight. It's great.
Yeah, but yeah, there are a lot of times where he's like, I want to be liked and I want to be likable. And he tries to smile and he's just bad. He's just ugly. Yeah. And people are like, don't do that ever again.
I had this exact conversation with Dorothy no less than a week ago because we were at a wedding and we were taking a bunch of photos. And she was like, yeah, just stop smiling. And I was like, oh, what do you mean? She's like, you're bad at it. You just take really bad photos when you smile. You just stop smiling. And she's right. So you'll never see me smiling again.
I like it.
No, like when I like smiling, like just enjoying my time, hanging out with you, touching your hand, doing like late night walks on the beach, that kind of thing. That's a real smile. When I think a smile, like
you go like, your lips grow like 3 sizes. I don't know.
Fucking. That's not actually. I smell like. It's not good. It's bad.
Yeah, you look like a porcelain doll.
I just show fucking teeth. I can't fucking smile, and it's always been a problem I've had.
Show just the top teeth.
Danny, Danny, you're talking to somebody who's had every person in their entire fucking life be like, oh, have you tried this? At this point, I've had, like, just tell me to fucking turn it off, and turn it back on again.
Look, I'm also awful at smiling. I need a smile coach. Just show your top teeth. But smile.
I fucking can't.
No, but smile.
I can't do it.
Like, because I smile like,
Danny,
that's too much, and then you gotta go.
Danny, I'd sooner run a fucking ultra marathon than like sit down and legitimately try and fix my smile.
Okay.
I can't do it. I would run 100 miles before I have to, like, Dorothy has gotten legitimately mad at me before because she thinks I'm fucking around with her. I'm not. I'm deadly serious. I don't know how to smile.
That's okay. Do a closed teeth smile.
I just have to mog.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Are you biting your cheeks?
Yeah. Get that jawline.
How do you not look like a fish?
You don't. You look.
No, I do.
Well, because I've been doing it for a while. You can't talk while you do it, but it's good for photos. You don't suck them in too much because then you look like you're trying. You gotta find the happy medium. That's not bad. That's actually pretty good.
Thanks, I try.
That was pretty good.
All the best photos ever taken of me have been related to anime IRL.
Dude, that photo, you're so welcome, by the way, that I sent you that. Crushed it.
Yeah.
Even I was like,
the like album cover, the shirt.
yeah,
one,
we did a Date the Weeb video where we basically invited a bunch of our friends who are cosplayers on to date Chris, and we took like a wrap photo at the end, and Danny just looks like suave. Just hot. Like I'm gonna send the photo to Stank, so so he can blast this out to everybody when the podcast is up. But Danny he just looks sexy. You also posted it on your Instagram, didn't you?
Yeah.
Did you show it to Sarah?
Oh yeah.
What'd she say?
She liked it. She weirdly liked the Care Bear shirt one more. She didn't like the shirt, but she was like, "Send me that photo."
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was like, I'm keeping this one. And mommy likey.
That's what she said. God, you know her so well.
I know. You say awooga unironically. Of course she's fucking dropping mommy likies. Oh, goodness gracious. All right. Last thing we have is Elusive Samurai. And my only note is this show oscillates between having the prettiest animation I've ever seen and the worst fucking CGI I've ever been forced to consume.
Oh, there's like one bit of CGI in this episode.
And it's just distracting.
Yeah, it's like Blue Lock.
Yeah.
Yeah. But otherwise, I love the character designs in this show.
Yeah, very
good. The dude with like it's like Inuyasha. The dude with like the long bushy ponytail. Everyone's bushy in this.
I mean, it's 1300s.
Well, yeah, it's like Inuyasha. It's like Roro. It's like
Rurouni Kenshin?
Yeah.
There we go.
It's like that kind of vibe. And I just love looking at it.
You know, you went Roro, and I was like, that could be a lot of things.
Yeah, it could be Dororo.
It could be Dororo, Durarara.
Could be Bobobo.
Bobo, yeah. Could have been a lot of things, but Rurouni Kenshin.
Could be, what's that one with the big lizard guy?
Dorohedoro. Yep. Japanese people just be making noises. Just be making noises sometimes. Goddamn.
Yeah. But oh heck, I just like looking at it.
Yeah. It's fun. It's a fun watch. It's definitely
like a Home Alone episode.
Yeah, dude, they were just like dudes are falling into pits.
Yeah.
I love that all the bad guys have a certain thing. I like that this guy's got like a big old ant chest. No idea what's going on there. It skeeves me out. They're like hyper realistic punch-ins. Like, I think there were actually like a couple of moments where there's just real ants they were recording, like hyper played into this. Like my dear friend Nokoton, which I haven't watched in like 3 weeks. But can I do my best boy?
Yeah.
Because I'm sick of not talking about Gachiahkuta.
Okay.
Scuzzwords. Scuzzwads. Don't be a fucking scuzzwad. That's my best boy is scuzzwads because that's apparently a made up like slur in the Gachiahkuta world, and they all just call each other scuzzwads. Yeah. And my God, do we need to start using scuzzwads?
You like it? Do you like a made up swear, or is it specifically scuzzwad?
Kind of like I don't like a made up swear because like sometimes they're like, oh, you frumple butts, and I'm like, what are we talking about? What are we doing here? Yeah. Scuzzwads, great.
Scuzzwads works perfect in a trash punk ass anime.
But also I love the fact that they just have a Jeep.
Yeah,
they just drive a Jeep around, and like honestly, kind of plays good. Jeeps are trash vehicles. Yeah. So why wouldn't they be in the trash world?
Damn.
Yeah, like why would they be in the like hanging around driving their Jeep Rubicon across all the trash?
Yeah, I love.
Does that imply somebody just dropped a full Jeep and it survived?
Yeah, maybe. Or they built it off of like dropped parts.
Probably.
Yeah. I didn't think about that. That's
right?
so interesting.
This is somebody like just like fucking whole Jeep like down.
This sucks. Dump it.
Get the whole thing gone.
I love Umbrella Dude.
He's NG?
Yeah, he's so sick.
He's dope.
Awesome design, like awesome weapon.
Yeah. It's just fun. Do you have a best boy?
My best boy is the Yakuza games.
Okay.
Started playing them.
Oh, really?
Started playing Yakuza 0.
Why?
There's a Yakuza, not anime, just Amazon show coming out.
Oh?
And I'd always heard...
Based off the games?
Yeah.
How crazy.
Everyone always was like, man, like, these games have, like, the best story ever. Yeah. And I, like, didn't buy... And every year, one comes out, and they're, like, still great, still incredible. And I feel like... I love playing video games for the story. And it's one of those things where I'm like so pretentious. I'm like, there's this whole series out there with allegedly like 11 fantastic stories that I'm missing out on. It's like the One Piece appeal where you're like, well, everyone fucking likes One Piece. I should see what the hype is about.
Yeah. I think the thing that makes the Yakuza games incredibly strong is the story's fantastic, but you also, like, as you progress, the world gets substantially more and more lived in. Like, you can do karaoke, you can go to like pachinko parlors.
Yeah.
There's so many things you can do, and there's so many like interesting side missions. If you want to like platinum them, like if you want to 100% them, you have to do like hours of karaoke
You have
missions.
to live in Japan.
Dude, like you like literally like have to like do like hours of karaoke missions, hours of pachinko missions, like all these kinds of things. It's like there's so many fun little side quests in Yakuza games. That's why I love them.
Yeah.
They're great.
Have you played them?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Are they good?
They're great.
Whoa.
The most recent one is probably the best one yet.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What's the most recent one?
5?
Got you. I was wondering if you were playing the spin-offs, the Like a Dragon ones.
I think it's
Because
Yakuza
apparently those are really good.
5. No, I haven't played those ones. I played, oh no, it's not 5 at all. Holy shit. No.
6, I think.
Yeah, 6.
Like chronologically. And then Yakuza 0 was like a prequel. And that's one I'm playing, and people really like that. But now they're making what's called like the Like a Dragon series.
Yeah.
There's Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, there's Like a Dragon Ishin, and those are like turn-based.
Oh.
Which is weird.
That's
because
really
you're going
weird.
up against like a guy using a bicycle as a weapon.
Yeah.
And like shit like that. But apparently those stories are like equally as good. And
Sick.
so I just am excited.
Do you have news?
No.
I have news.
How? It's been 4 days.
Yeah, well, there was a release-al. There was a little release-al that told us that there's going to be a hidden inventory premature death movie coming out in 2025.
Whoa.
And
What did they drop the Chainsaw Man one? Where the fuck is that?
October. Yeah. No, the Resident movie comes out in October.
Where's the trailer?
It's out. It's been out.
No. There's like a little tease where it's just
There was a little
laying in
tease.
grass,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that's not a trailer.
I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I think it comes out in October. I also want to talk about, I don't know if we ever talked about this in the pod. Did you hear about the fact that Soul Leveling, they got so ahead of their production schedule, they're just dropping it a season early? Solo Leveling's new season comes out in October.
Whoa.
They got so ahead of their production schedule, they're like, fuck it. They were planning on releasing it spring and now, or no, winter, and now they're releasing it in fall. So it's going to be coming out in October, like alongside all the other fall releases.
That's outrageous.
Yeah.
It's going to compete against Dan Da Dan.
Yeah, it's going to compete against a bunch of shit. It's going to be a crazy goddamn season.
Wow, finally.
Yeah, I know.
Imagine.
About time. We're back, baby.
Yeah.
We're back. But yeah, no, so there's going to be a 2025 movie that I'm assuming it's just going to be like the Mugen Train, but in reverse. They're going to take all the episodes and munch them together. I don't know if there's going to be like reanimations or anything, but it's going to just be that.
Attack on Titan movie is coming out.
What do you mean?
I say what I mean.
But like, what is it? Like it's a spin-off? Is it?
No.
It's just.
It's like the last 3 like parts.
Damn.
Squished.
Like a 3.5 hour movie.
It's gonna be like squished, and maybe not the last 3 parts, but like, you know, it's they're doing like a Gurren Lagann thing where it's like they're just movieifying the last arc
Yeah.
of Attack on Titan. I hate that shit. I'll see it because it's my job.
Yep.
But they're always awful. One Piece does it
Uh-huh.
with every arc. Like, you can see a movie version of every One Piece arc. I was so tempted to just watch the 2-hour Skypia instead of reading it.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
What do you mean they drop a movie of every arc in One Piece?
Like you could watch a 2-hour version of the Skypia arc and the Alabasta arc.
What?
Yeah.
Where?
I mean, it's worse. It's obviously worse.
Where?
Netflix?
Netflix?
Yeah.
Has One Piece movie 2-hour arc recap videos.
Yes.
There's no goddamn way.
Chat way.
One Piece, just under.
Nick still hasn't talked about Hunter x Hunter coming back.
Yeah, it comes back October 7th. Episode of Skypia?
Yeah.
What?
Crunchyroll also has them.
No fucking.
Again, they're bad. If you start making your sweaty, shirtless One Piece reviews being like, I watched this, you will get crucified.
Is it not just One Piece, or is it like?
They like rewrite it so that it fits in 2 hours.
Okay.
You know, so it's like it's like Spark Notes of the arc.
I'm only seeing, like, in terms of like arc, what would be considered like arc recaps. I'm only really seeing this one is Adventures of Neblandia. That one's basically an entire filler arc. One Piece. Oh no, there's Alabasta. No, you're right. Episode of Alabasta.
Yeah, it's like, again, Gurren Lagann did it, where you can technically watch all of Gurren Lagann in 2 hour-and-a-half long movies, and they're really bad because the pacing is like whack.
It's just all over the place?
Yeah, like they have to cut you. It's not just like, oh, they just did the manga.
Gotcha.
Like, yeah, it's like too fast of pacing to the point where like you don't give a shit about anything and it's
Because
poorly
everything's
written.
just ridiculous.
Yeah, but so
Gotcha.
that's what this is. It's Attack on Titan's like final arc in a movie.
That they're going to squish 3 hours of content into an hour and a half.
I mean, at the very least, hopefully it'll look better.
Yeah.
Not that like the last hour long like one Attack on Titan episode looked great.
Yeah.
But if it looks even better than that, like whatever, that'll be hype.
Yeah.
But I'm not like holding my breath for it being well written or good. Or maybe it'll be better because Attack on Titan's pacing is kind of dog.
It's kind of, yeah, they could definitely use some acceleration.
Yeah, so maybe this will be actually better than the original.
We'll see. Yeah. We'll see it. This is the part of the show where me and Danny pull our live audience for a love letter. So if you guys want to watch us live, you can do that by either becoming a YouTube member or a Patreon member. And then you'll get the podcast 2 days early, get the ability to watch us live, and 2 hours of additional Nick and Danny content every single month. So Danny, do we have a question from any of our lovely patrons? Lily the Raccoon asks, which shonen anime protagonist would you replace your co-host with? Got any ideas, Danny? Somebody you'd like to talk to all day long. Now, mind you, the podcast still needs to work, all right? So you need somebody who at least would be interested in making content. I mean, I guess it doesn't need to. You could absolutely drive the podcast into the ground.
Deku. Dude, Deku and I would run the goddamn biggest, most successful Marvel podcast.
Why?
The biggest fan of superheroes.
He is super into superheroes, you're right.
He knows all of his shit. He just jots down. You imagine a person who jots down notes about real people they know? He's the you of the My Hero world.
I was hoping you were going to say that.
Yeah.
I was like, you're just replacing me with me.
Yeah.
Thanks, babe.
I was going to do Light Yagami, but he has no interests.
Murder, being God.
Yeah.
He'd have some interesting philosophical questions.
We could do like a what's it called? Like true crime podcast?
Yeah.
Light Yagami? I'd listen to that.
You and Light Yagami just cracking cases?
Yeah.
If I had to replace you with an anime character, I would replace you with Aki.
Why?
Because.
From Chainsaw Man?
Yeah.
Why?
Because he's kind of funny. He's kind of mysterious. He's skinny. He smokes cigarettes.
Wow, way to be like, I want to fill the gaps you leave.
No, I'm saying like he's funny. He is like, he's female gaze. All the ladies love him. He's responsible. He's in charge. He's larger in charge. I feel like Aki would be great for a podcast.
These all
Also,
lead to a great podcast. Okay. Responsibility.
Imagine all the stories Aki has about like killing demons. We could be like, hey man, tell me about, how hard your job is and the fact that you're giving your whole life to killing demons.
Aki's not chatty.
He's kind of chatty.
We did a road trip once, and I was like, I want Himino, Aki, and some third guy. And you were like, you're out of your mind.
For taking Aki?
Yeah.
I don't know who else. Okay, you know what? Fine. Fine. But I need somebody funny is the issue.
Uh-huh.
I know who I'm going with.
Oh.
Main protagonist of Konosuba. Absolutely.
Well, that's the podcast, everybody.
Oh my goodness, we just do this to each other all day.
I've been insulted to my absolute breaking point.
You're funny. That's why I'm trying to replace you with a funny person.
You're trying to replace me with the fucking wiggly ass.
He's funny. I'm trying to think of like a character known for being funny in anime. Oh no, I was gonna say
do Laios. Do a cooking podcast.
What do I want to do an anime podcast? I'm taking an anime MC. I want an anime podcast.
Laios is the same type of thing where you think you get Aki into anime.
Aki's absolutely into anime.
Laios loves to hyperfixate. You just get him on a couple of anime.
He's a monster fucker. What are we gonna talk about? We're gonna talk about the sweet, sultry textures of dragon meat.
Yeah, what do we talk about?
The sweet, sultry textures of dragon meat. Fuck! You've seen through my ruse. Yeah. No, I would take. I don't know. Freerin? No, she's not chatty. You know what? Maybe Freerin. Stark. That's who it is.
From?
Freyrin.
Wow, I can offer great banter on this.
I just watched the goddamn show, Danny. I don't know. Your answer was so good. This is a really good question. I can't think of anybody. Because I wouldn't want another me. I don't want another me. I don't want Naruto out here. We just scream the whole time. And then
You think you're Naruto?
absolutely.
Wow. That's
Naruto
cute.
coded as fuck. How dare you?
That's cute.
I was raised from nothing.
Oh, yeah.
A sultry $1 million grandfather.
Yeah.
Hey, I didn't have a dad. All right, that works.
Right.
That works for me.
Just a mom you had to gaslight into thinking she was poor.
Absolutely, and it worked.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Kiba?
Thanks.
Kiba would be good.
Yeah.
Kiba's an influencer.
To me and a little dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be great.
All right,
You're
I'll take
Kiba
Kiba.
coded.
I'll
You
take
know what?
Kiba.
That's my answer. I'm locking it in. Kiba.
All right.
Because we got dogs right here. It's a dog podcast.
All right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for checking in for another week of Anime IRL. I've been NC Hammer, also known as Nick, also known as the Weeb Commander. Go ahead and check out our newest Anime IRL video. It will be, we tried to recreate blue lock shots. We got a striker from the men's UCLA soccer team who's absolutely nuts. And he showed us some of the ropes on how to be really good at soccer. And I hit some shots that I genuinely probably didn't deserve to hit, but it's a really fun video. I recommend you watch it and just do it to support us, because if every single one of you watches it, that means we get like double the views, and that's huge. And that's so good for the YouTube algorithm. So please watch it. I'm done doing informational content. I just want to film outside, please. All right, Danny.
I'm Danny Motta. I'm going to do reaction content until I die, so feel free to not watch any other thing I do ever. And yeah. And
You're part of Anime
that's
IRL.
it.
Why would you undercut me?
That's it.
Why would you undercut me?
It's a bit. I do the funnies.
You do the funnies.
Yeah.
That's why we're getting Kiba. All right, ladies and gentlemen, goodbye. Mwah.
And now for my next number, I'd like to return to the classics.